Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com. Got an awesome watch here for you, the TicWatch Pro 3 GPS. This is their WearOS special watch. Extra thin. It's the third iteration of their basic Pro watch. But before we start, check this out. You remember this one? This was the original TicWatch 2. Yeah, way before any of the other stuff was going on. They had the little, tickle spot on the side that you could get navigation around. And that led eventually to the rotating dial that Galaxy came out with, or Samsung with the Galaxy line and so forth. But fun little watch. We reviewed it here a long time ago. The TicWatch 2, of course, not made anymore. They've moved on, up, and out with a dual screen display, dual layer LCD and AMOLED. Well, you're about to see it all. And we already did review the original Pro with the, I believe it was Verizon phone capability built into it. This is the one that's GPS that you can tether to your phone to make calls and whatnot. So as we get going, we want to let you know where you can get it. It's available directly from the Mobvoi store, and we got it on a sale. So check the show notes for the link that'll take you directly there so you can get 10% off and a nice decent discount and take advantage of all these different features. Now, in a nutshell, you got about 3 days worth of life, 45 days in this essential mode, which is when you have it in the LCD style. It's running with a Qualcomm 4100 chipset in it, and that is like brand new in smartwatch technology. The dual display, Google Assistant, of course, is built in it, runs with WearOS and all of the features that WearOS brings. You've got 10 plus workout modes. You've got built-in GPS, heart rate sensor, and blood oxygen sensor now in this one. IP68, which means it's swimming suitable, and you can definitely take it in water. Google Play with Nfc Payments. A lot of you guys ask, when is NFC coming to Android? Well, it's there in Android Wear, now called WearOS by Google, and it's in this watch. So you can do your payments directly from the TicWatch Pro 3 GPS. Thousands of watch faces. In fact, there's so many out there, we actually put a workshop up here at Smartwatch Ticks. You can look that up, where you can learn how to make your own watch faces for this watch or any WearOS watch. 1 gigabyte of RAM, 8 gigabytes of ROM in this one. You can manage your phone calls and notifications, alarms, reminders, and so forth. And for those of you spec-oriented folks, here's the details: the watch size, weight. It's a 1.4-inch Retina AMOLED 454 by 454 FSTN display. That's your regular color display. And then it's got the LCD black and white see-through display. Shadow black is the color of this one, stainless steel and plastic construction, solid silicone 22 millimeter bands, the 4100 chip set from Qualcomm. And there you go, all the other specs that we've already mentioned. The global navigation system is GPS, BiDAO, GLONASS, Galileo, you name it, it'll do it. NFC in it, speaker, mic, of course, so forth. Ambient light sensor, barometer, yep, got 2 buttons. IP68, as we mentioned before, and regular charging dock. So let's look at it. Inside the box, we have a quick guide. Nice black cover, and the watch itself. It's on a card that's really nicely put together. It's definitely a gift-worthy presentation, the way it's packaged. The band is a soft band. Whoa, it's on there tight. Come on, you. Whoa. Okay, got it loose. And it's on the card like that. It is a pseudo-leather band, but it's actually rubberized. Really, really nice band. It says TicWatch on it. Of course, it's removable, 22 millimeter. There you're looking at the watch itself. It's your basic black bezel, black watch with some markings on it, 2 buttons. You've got a speaker on the side, much thinner than we've seen many of these watches. So finally, a microphone is something you can really wear as a dress fashion watch and not look like you're wearing a chunk on your arm. Charging pins recessed so they won't get moisture from your body when you're using it for workouts. Your diode array and sensors are all in there. And we also have an overall QR code that you'll be able to scan. Not sure what that one does, but you can give it a try. Some safety information. That's the whole safety brochure. We won't go through that. You got the charging connector on here. And that one uses a little magnetic and recessed 2-pin. Notice there's 4 pins here, but it's 2 pins for charging connector. There you go. And it's good and strong, and it'll definitely hold the watch. Plug it in your USB, you're good to go. So getting started, we use this little TicWatch Pro 3 guide that folds out, wow, multiple ways. Here we go. Okay, the English product appearance. I'm just going to hold this up here so you can freeze frame it and read it. It looks like there's 3 different languages running across parallel. So we've got English. Wow, no, there's a bunch more languages there. All right, here we go in where we're picture driven. That just shows the layout, the descriptor in various languages of the items that it shows. Very simplistic startup guide. It's basically telling you you need to load WearOS from the Google Play Store to begin with, and that's the QR code to scan to get it. And of course there's the Mobvoi app as well, is where you'll take advantage of a lot of the different features that are in the device. So 2 apps you're going to put on your phone, load those in, and then you're good to go with getting the rest of it all set up. Here's a little bit more about it in different languages. These are the gestures and such, tilt to wake, and some of the apps. And again, a QR code here for more information. Okay, let's actually get into it. I'm going to charge it up, and yeah, we'll take it for a spin. Oh, one more card was in the package. There's a membership that you can join Mobvoi and get these different benefits, and it tells you how to do that. And there's also customer care where you can get support directly from them if you need to as well. So a lot of other good stuff you can do in addition to owning one of the best WearOS watches out there. Let's have some fun. We got a power button on the top. We're going to give it a long press. Wait a minute. A second. There it is. It's a vibration. And you got the TicWatch logo starting up. So as we begin, I want you to see this on and let you know that we've got the original TicWatch Pro 4G review up as well. So hop over on that one and just peek at it when you get a chance to see the difference between the 2 watches. This one is way, way more advanced. It's really thinner, it's brighter, and it's got a backlit secondary screen when it goes into the LCD mode. So in the bright daylight, you can actually see it. See it there? Okay, this is inside room light, but if it's twisted and it lights up, it's just that ever little bit more that gives it the boost that makes it really easy to see in a bright room. And of course at night, definitely, it lights up fine and you can see it in the pitch dark as well. Just like the old Casio watches. I love it. All right, we have it on. I can touch the screen. I've got it set up for that to activate if I want to, and it's got a fairly quick timeout. When I slide down, I've got all these different controls. Settings is right there, your airplane mode. This puppy is for overall brightness of this bright AMOLED screen that's in here, and you can adjust it quite a bit. Here's a do not disturb. I'm going to turn that off so the sound is on. There's the Google Pay thing. If you set that whole thing up, it does have NFC in here. With your phone, you can use your watch to pay without actually touching at the terminal. This is a theater mode, which you can turn on, that will basically turn the screen off. So great for going to bed at night, or the movies, if they ever open the movie theaters again, and all of that stuff. And this one is the do not disturb, similar to theater, but it's not affecting the screen as much. It's basically for stopping all of the traffic coming in, pushing notifications to your watch. You got all of that by swiping down. When we swipe up, we can manage and check all of our different notices and whatnot sent from your phone tethered to the watch. Come over this way, you got all kinds of information. There's your Google Assistant. It gives you some information about the temperature, and as you scroll down, it's more stuff that's related to you and as you have set it up. Swipe over this way, and now you get some cards showing your workout information. The next one is weather in your area, and it tells you where you actually are, but I'll just show you. It looks like that with a nice big bright temperature display. Swipe it again, and now it's set up at this point that I've got my heart rate, it looks like, in here. Rising, minimum, maximum. Nice. I got the breath exercise set up in this one. If I want 2 minutes or 4 minutes, breathe in, breathe out, relaxation. All of these are customizable. Here's a little voice recorder. I could hit a start recording, record a little voice segment on here, stop it. If it's set up properly, it can transfer that over to your phone. See, now it went into the LCD screen, and I can brighten it up. Ooh, ooh, it's finally really working the way it should. Tap it, I come back where I was. And I got one more thing, my goals and whatnot for my exercise activities and so forth. Again, all those tiles, I think they call them tiles with this system, are available to you, and you can reorganize them any way you want. And when you go this way, oh, we did that already, and we did that way already. Okay, so we've done everything except where are all the apps? Oh, they're right here. Tap this button, and there they are. We got a bunch of them that are stock now. This is loaded up with some really great things. You've got 2 different systems going on in here. Let me talk about that. You got Google, and you got all the things Google, and you got Google Fit, and you got the exercise activities and whatnot with Google Fit, and you've got the things that are part of the Mobvoi program with tick health and tick stuff, tick sleep, ticks everywhere. And all these different apps tie in with that. To use either of them, both of them, you have to set up and log in to accounts, right? So you're going to have dual accesses to different information, and you can track your workout stuff and your heart rate and all of that stuff on either or both of these. So tick pulse, for example, I tap here, I come in, and I'm measuring, and I'm getting the history of my heart rate over the past 24 hours of the current day, well, from midnight to current time. On the app that you tether into, the Mobvoi app, you'll be able to see previous day's information. Different than the Google Fit app, not the WearOS app. You have to learn all of these things. So that was a pulse. You've got last night's sleep information on here with a colorful chart. Tells you when you went to bed and whether or not you're doing things well. You know, kind of a synopsis like your mother would have told you as a teenager about your sleep. Sleep efficiency, night after night, and so forth. So, yeah, if you want a good scolding about your sleep habits, you got it. Tick health, we skipped ahead. This is the one we just saw when we went through the cards. And then this tick exercise is where you can actually set up and activate any of these different things that you can do. Activities, mountaineering, yoga, there's pool stuff in here, pool swimming, freestyle, and of course outdoor runs, indoor runs. Outdoor stuff has GPS if it has distance in it, like running, walking, cycling, all that kind of stuff. We did that. How about oxygen? This is the new thing. Ever since COVID, we've got blood oxygen as a new thing. Now, if you look, a good watch does it with red and infrared diodes. It can be done with the green diodes, but the accuracy is really much better, they say. when you're doing it with red diodes. It takes a little while, and you're going to get a number probably between 95 and 100%. You have to hold still, so I'm not going to waste your time on that. Just try it, and you'll see it'll show up like that. And this is something interesting. Tic Zen. I got to relax when I put on Zen, right? This is actually showing that Uncle Tix is really relaxed right now. I can't believe it. You ought to see me when I'm wired. Okay, here's history. My highest was 32, lowest was 10. I'm averaging 16. There's a scatter diagram of sorts. My stress distribution, I'm 83% of the time relaxed. Couldn't prove it by me. After this review, you watch, high stress will be up about 3%. Nah, I just have fun with you guys. I am generally a relaxed fella. Okay, we're going to press here, press there. We just did the Zen. Now you get into the Tic breath. This is the breathing, but notice it's different than what we looked at before. You can do this like for 1 minute if you like freak out by relaxing for very long, or you can set it for other times. And it's the same kind of thing. It's a breathe in, breathe out. We might play with that later in another video, but I want to just whip you through all of this stuff here. I'm so used to swiping right to get to my apps. I got to remember, got to press the button. And then Tic heart. This is, what the heck is this? Look at that. It's spinning around. Oh, this is Tic sound. This is how loud Uncle Tix can talk to you guys. Turn your volume down because I am busting the watch, man. This is your background audio level to help protect your hearing. The ambient sound. So if you're trying to have a conversation and it's loud around you, just flip this on and say, hey, it's 99 dB. Let's move over there and talk in a phone booth, okay? I don't do this often. I'm going to get quiet for just a few seconds. You ready? Isn't that better? You hear the birds outside? Jeez, I'm whispering and look at that. Anyway, this is a fun one to play with. That's your Tic hearing. That's what that says. Tic breathing, Tic hearing. And now this. What is this? I thought I'd surprise you guys. And if you haven't seen the review on this one yet, this is the Healbee company Gobi 3 smartwatch that can compute your actual calories burned versus energy that you do. Look at that. I'm at a minus 167. That's good. I could lose weight if I keep that up. This is a complementary device to this one. You saw all these different vital sign measuring apps that Tic has come out with. This has some great complementary ones. For example, this is a synopsis of the kind of thing that you get with your calories in minus your calories burned to show you that I'm at a negative, which means I am supposedly going to lose weight. I burned more than I took in. And what did I burn? Well, it calculates out your calories from calm activity, routine, walking, and it takes into consideration your basal metabolism. Anyway, this is a really fun watch and something I suggest you check out. So I'm going to have a link in the show notes, or just search here at Smartwatch Tics for Gobi 3. It also does heart rate information in a different way. Yeah, you get your regular stuff, your current pulse, but look at this. A sleep average. It'll monitor your sleep time and your awake average. So if you're working on improving your overall heart health, boom, boom, you got two new numbers to work with. And if stress is your friend, or not so much your friend, it's got a whole stress section that's relatively unforgiving, I've found. If you are stressed, it will tell you. Accumulated, light, elevated, everything. And about calories, check this chart out. You get this every hour. This is amazing. The lighter pink is the calories you took in when you ate breakfast, when you ate lunch. The calories that you spend in energy are down below in the darker color. And the summary is right here. And actually, on the watch itself, you see it right down here. That's your current balance for the day between calories in, calories out. Anyway, it's the Healbee Gobi 3 perfect complement to our TicWatch 3 Pro GPS. Okay, let's move on. Now we move out of all of the Mobvoi Tick stuff and into other things. We've got your basic agenda. If you have any events scheduled and stuff, that's there. Your standard watch alarm things would go there. Here is something I've added. This is an altimeter, and it'll show you your elevation. It's one of the many apps that are available to add. So it doesn't come stock with it, but it's really easy to add it on there. The calculator, I think, comes with it. This is a basic calculator. It shows you your last calculation, too. Let's clear that. The thing I wish is it had bigger numbers for the results, but I can imagine it's trying to cram it all in the screen. What's it doing? Equals. There's a number. You see? It is readable. It's white. It's okay. It's a calculator. Nothing more. I don't think it does scientific and all that other stuff. Compass I couldn't get to work. I don't think there's a compass in this one. Contacts is, of course, after you set it up with your Google account, all your Google contacts will come in here and you can have the access to them for when you're going to do calling on your watch, Bluetooth calling stuff. Essential stuff is the essential mode. This is where it's that LCD screen all the time, and it disables the other processors, so you get longer battery life. Notice I'm at 37%. That's about little over 2 days into it with heavy use, setting it up, messing around with it, learning about it so I could do this report. That's in there. Now, this is fun. Facer is one of the watch face groups, apps that you can download, tons and tons of free and paid for apps. We'll show you that when I get to showing you the faces. Boy, this is back. It takes some time. Find My Phone is there. Here's your Fit breathing. This is the Google Fit version of the breath exercise that we saw when we were going through the tiles. Yeah, so like I said, there's two different things going on. Here's Fit Goals, Fit Heart. That's another heart rate measurement. So it's sort of like having, I don't know, breakfast and lunch, and you got to decide which one you really are in the mood to eat right now. Fit Workout is tied in with Google Fit. Here's a flashlight, something simple. It just gives you the screen in a bright full on. You can't hardly even see the flashlight symbol there, but it is there. And you can use that to unlock your door or whatever you need to do. Google Pay is not set up yet, but when you do, you can have it available to you. It's been that way on all of these watches like this that have had the NFC card in them. Then there's this GPS stuff. This is giving us, let's see, elevation and speed and other kinds of things are tied in with this GPS app. This is wild. Here's your hand washing. Remember, we're supposed to wash our hands for 20 seconds according to the CDC. They presume that's 20 seconds per hand. So you wash one of them for 20 seconds and then the other, and look, it adds up to 40 seconds. It's just a 40-second countdown timer, gang. Maybe it's 20 seconds to wash and 20 to dry. I don't know. But anyway, it's something simple, and it comes with the watch. Yeah. These other ones, I'm not going to get into those. They're installed ones. Here's one. The Mobvoi privacy information, that all shows up in the app when you first go on, and it's all here for you to read. You can actually erase all your data, terms of service, all kinds of things are in here, and that's basically just when you're standing in line somewhere, something you can do to read about things. There's your phone, your Google Play, reminders you've got, overall settings. This gets into the same settings that if we swipe down and touch the settings up there. I'm going to come back to that in a minute so we can get through the app drawer. There's a speedometer and a stopwatch. Here's a different kind of stopwatch and timer. There's the Google Translate. It works as well. Here's voice messages, memos, and you can start recording, and that's the one you saw on the tile that we had up there earlier. And then I've got this interesting thing I tried. It's called Wake Up. It's another third-party app you can download, and it monitors all that stuff with the red diodes and whatnot, your blood oxygen and your breathing and your sleeping, and it can tell you or notice when you're going to be happiest in the best mood to be woken up. Not when your alarm goes off at 6:37 every morning, but you set a time and a window, like 30 minutes plus or minus of 6:30. And it will wake you up. It'll go off at the proper time within that hour. And then Watchmaker is another one for watch faces. And then there's your overall weather app for weather in your area. So a lot of stock watches you've seen in here, and a few of the specialty ones that have been installed just to test it all out. So let's look at these watch faces. If you're unfamiliar with all of this, it's pretty easy. You press and hold, and it gets you a drawer of all of the faces that you can slide through and click whichever one you want. Some of them have a gear. The gear lets you change things like the overall color of the face. My finger's sticky right now. All right, it was on green. Let's switch it to blue. There you go. Some of them don't do more. Most of them just something simple like that. You have other stock ones that are installed. Ruler, Guardian, and Horizon are the ones that come with it right out of the box. Horizon is the one that I believe we boot up, and it's there. It gives you your heart rate and step count and a few other things. And before I leave this, let me show you something in settings. We're going to go into detail, but you saw that when it timed out, it switches into the dual layer display, and we had the LCD screen pop up. And it's right there, and I twist my wrist, and it lights it up, and everything's hunky-dory, as we used to say, hunky-dory. If I go into the settings, however, and into display, I can come down here, and I can, I'm in sound, I want to display. I can come down here and I can turn on always on screen. Now this is going to use up a lot more battery, but folks, this is what you're used to in Android Wear. Or, excuse me, WearOS by Google. It's all been renamed. Before they had these dual layers and the special low power one, they had this. And this is a secondary kind of a display that when the main color one times out, it flips into usually a black and white one with minimal information that rests there always. And so that way, whenever you look at your watch, you got the time. If you have it set with the twist your wrist to turn it on, and if it's working properly, probably don't have it. I don't have it set because I didn't turn it on sleeping last night. I didn't want it doing that. But when it's on, it'll come back and it will just light up in its regular color. And all of these WearOS watch faces have that dual type of thing. So here on Horizon, it looks like this. And Guardian, if I bring this one up, it loaded. It's showing you your battery, which is dropping. You noticed it was what, 40, 42%? It's down 36%. I've just been letting it drain, see where it goes. This is what the display looks like in its ambient mode, we'll call it, for this one. If you turn that other mode off of always on display, then it's going to flip back into the two-layer thing and give you that LCD. Ruler is just that one, not really fancy. This is one that I downloaded that's available, the cube that we looked at because it's colorful. I thought you guys might like to look at that. And here's Facer. This is a free Facer face from, it's loading it, and then there it is. It's like the Pink Floyd thing, and it goes into that mode there, and its ambient one was a really like no face at all, and just the battery power was showing. And that's what I used it on last night. So it's just a teeny little glow, and I always could monitor what the battery level was. There's hundreds, thousands of Facer faces you could put in. Watchmaker is another one like that. This is one that Uncle Tix made. Really easy to do, and there's a whole workshop that I've got here online. Check the show notes. I'll have a playlist. Go over there. You can learn how to make a watch face like this. I have the main one show up with the battery power, and when it goes into the ambient mode, it doesn't change anything. It just loses the battery power. So I know what time it is anytime I want, and I don't have to worry about the twist your wrist thing because it's always going to be on. It's simple, it's small, it's light, it doesn't use a whole lot of battery, and yeah, it's pretty cool, fun, and you can play with different fonts. There's thousands and thousands of things that you can do with these, so that's there as well. Then there's these other third-party things that you can install and other different apps, weather in your area, and you can say see more, and it's going to give you lists of free ones and paid ones and all kinds of things. Yep. Check this one out now. These are fun. I did a search on Watchmaker for watch faces that have text in them, text interpretations. So I go into my Watchmaker, I hit the gear down here, and I got this fun one which gives you kind of a rough idea of what time it is. But if you want like a full-fledged exact time but written, you can get it this way, and there's a whole bunch more. I've set up with the premium version of Watchmaker, and all these are free if you're a premium subscriber or member. Okay, let's take a look at the apps that associate with this watch. We're going to be looking at two apps that you're going to need to make this thing really work. Both of them you have to have accounts set up. One through Google, the Google Play Store. You'll be looking for WearOS by Google Smartwatch. The other one you're going to need to set up through Mobvoi, the company that makes the TicWatch, a separate account, and load the Mobvoi app, which you will actually be able to access through WearOS by Google, which is looking like this. So let's go there. iOS or Android. We're on Android here. Now, Android is the operating system of the phone, but the WearOS app creates the interface to the operating system on the watch. Really, this app is just for selecting which watch you're connecting to if you have more than one WearOS watch, and it's how you add a new one. You can install a selection of the watch faces. Many of these are already there. There's the green one cube I was talking about. You can, of course, download Facer and Watchmaker, which give you the access to thousands of other watch faces as well. You can do that selection directly from this app. You can rearrange the tiles that you saw the layout on, which ones you want in what order. And I imagine I'll add them or delete them as well. You got overall notifications control, agenda, for your Google Calendar and whatnot, how your assistant will behave, and then this basic stuff where you can unpair, turn your screen always on, tilt to your wrist to see the time. Those, of course, you can select from the watch, but you can do it from this app. Notice that when you unpair a WearOS watch from the WearOS app, it factory resets the watch. It wipes everything out, all of your faces, anything you've recorded with your voice recorder. All of that stuff is gone, and the watch is basically clean to be sold on eBay or whatever you want to do with it. And there's no way around that. So that's a little bit of a drawback I find with working with WearOS on any watch, is it's mandatory. This phone, this app, and this login with this system, or nothing. You're gone. You're going to change phones, you're going to have a problem. Make sure you set this all up on the phone you're going to be using for the next couple of years. With all that said, we've got this big tile here, and touching on that tile takes us to the next level in the dream. You guys watched Inception, right? Now we're down at the Mobvoi level. Yeah. We opened the Mobvoi app, and we're in here now, and it's the TicWatch Pro. And just updated. We're going over here to this health center, and I get just one big overall chart. If I go deeper into the health center, though, I get the days, and I get more data. Here's that chart we just saw. Click on that, and it shows you your bar chart of steps. Very, very light on the side. You can see the scale. And your exercise and how long you've done it. 3 30-minute routines I've done, your active hours of at least 100 steps, okay? Because there's a whole thing about metabolism kicking in if you actually walk a little every hour. They set their minimum at 100 steps. Things like Fitbit, they set it at 250. Whichever way you do it, it's good to track it and try to get your steps in every hour if you can. I got 3 of 10. They give you 10 hours to do it in. My goal is to get even higher if I can. Okay, we backed out of here to that part, to your heart rate now. Here's the 24-hour heart rate. I took the watch off and charged it, took a shower, all that stuff, put it back on. You can see it continuing. Gaps mean it didn't get a recording, so it's not recording your heart rate in thin air. That's good. Here's my activity versus my heart rate. This is sleep time. Now, This is a problem I see with this app. It probably could be fixed with a firmware update. And here's a report, Mobvoi. You might want to take a look at this. This is last night's sleep time. I had a great sleep. Got up to go to the bathroom at about 5-something in the morning, almost 6. Went back to bed, had some nice dreams, and woke up at 7. It has said that my whole night's sleep was that hour and 26 minutes, and it gave me 95% success rate for only sleeping an hour and a half. Oh, I wish it were only true. There's all the breakdown. You see all the little things on here, awake and REM and bedtime, and time to sleep was only 2 minutes because I just went to the bathroom. I was in a good dream. The rest of the night was lost. That's sad. And what would that look like? Well, I can slide back to a previous day, like yesterday, and there's my 8 hours and 16 minutes. Yeah, broken up really nicely. Now, another drawback, I can't touch on these and see any particular bar as to what time that was. My awake time, 45 minutes. What was the one right there? When was it? I have no idea. I just have my begin and my end. I have no calibration marks, nothing. So it's a pretty display. That's all you got. However, you do have, if you slide over, your sleep heart rate, and it pegs your highest one and lowest one. And if you slide again, you're getting your morning heart rate, tells you your morning pulse, normal, and it also monitors you for fluctuation. I had rapid fluctuation. That could be something I need to take a look at. Could be caused by an AFib issue. Could be caused by sleep apnea. Could be caused by all kinds of things. It should say normal. Just noticed that. What about the night before? Now that you got my attention, what was my stable? Well, the night before was stable. All right, thank you guys. You've helped Mr. Tix identify a little thing that I need to take a look at. Not unusual. Here's a kind of nice one. I did a lot of exercise that day. Maybe that's why it was more stable. There's my heart rate fluctuations and so forth. Also, there's a sports section. You can go into any of the things of that day, or you can hit more and you get another portrayal of all of your sporting activity. Here's my 158-minute, 2-hour, 38-minute bike ride. Man, am I fit to be passenger with Mrs. Tix in the car driving. Oh, I know. That's why my heart rate's so low, just sitting in the car. However, I did get out and walk a little bit. You see it's showing it right there. There's the speed computation, and down below here you get a Google map of where you went. Now let me talk about that Google map for a sec. I hope you guys are okay with it. That Google map thing, I got a little walking thing. I just walked around my house for 7 minutes. You'll see here it's showing your heart rate like we did before, but now you also get a thing of speed, step frequency, and step length. Those are all on here now that weren't there in just the cycling. So you get different stuff depending on what you're doing. Here's the map. That's my house. I'm just walking around the corner, and I can't zoom it in. I can touch it, and it'll tell me that it's a Google map and let me switch over to Google Maps. But unlike most apps on the market that show you, have GPS in them, you can zoom in, you can scroll around in the map. I can't do any of that, out or in. And it zooms into the level that shows you your whole track. So if you went 30 miles, it's going to show every little tick of each mile over that 30-mile range, but you can't zoom in and examine any one particular mile. You could probably if you leave the app to someplace else, but honestly, that Google Maps should be embedded in here that I could go in and take a look at it. I should be able to find the time of a particular activity, and I should be able to correlate that to the time of anything else that I've got in my history. So Mobvoi has a bit of work to do to improve their overall fitness reporting, in my estimation, and their sleep reporting and being able to cover the whole night and being able to either expand or touch on one of these squares and see the beginning and ending time of that, as well as all of your averages. And it's got a bit to go in this overall portrayal here as well of your exercise. Love the active hours. That's awesome. That's I did it. At least 100 steps, 15 hours in a row from 7 in the morning until 10 o'clock at night or something. That was a great day. Love days like that. That's the Mobvoi app, and You get to that one, you got to set it all up and log in and create an account and everything, and you get to that through the WearOS app that you download either from the link in the show notes or from the Google Play Store directly. All of that's got to be installed and set up in order for you to get this kind of data on your phone. I hope you're enjoying this, going this deep. I've looked around at a lot of different reviews, and they all skim the surface. You basically find out more or less what the watch does, but not really how it works. And time for a little commercial. If you really enjoy and you're learning what this thing is about to the point where you may make a buying decision, I really appreciate it if you just click on the link we have in the show notes to head over to purchase yours. I try to get you a good discount from its regular price whenever I can. And of course, it's going to give a little bit of commission back to me because that's how we stay alive here, is with these affiliate connections. They give us the watches to play with, and we show them off to you in the hopes that you'll buy them. And if you buy them using our link, we all come out ahead from that. You can change your screen timeout from as little as 5 seconds to 15. Not a big range in there. You have this touch lock thing. You can enable it if you want to, and that will set it all up that you have to hold the power button for 2 seconds in order to unlock it. Great for like when you're doing activities in the pool or something like that, and you don't want the screen to be active. Changing your watch faces, adjusting the brightness. The font size is set to large right now. I like it that way personally, but I can make it small. You see that? So depending on your eyes and how much you want to see on the screen, you have a little bit of range there. The always-on screen, let's go back to the LCD thing as a secondary screen, and the touch lock and the screen timeout. So that's all in display. Sound is pretty basic. Your volume levels, you can vibrate for calls and your watch ringtone. Nothing fancy there. Apps and notifications is where you just basically deal with all of your different apps and vibration patterns and whatnot. Oh, there we go. Your overall gestures, this is where you got the tilt to wake, we call it. We call it tip twist your wrist to see the time. It's a little longer, but that's where you do that and it'll light back up again, right? You can also have touch to wake, which is what I like to use, especially at night, and navigation. You can set it up for that as well. You've got connectivity for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and all of that there. Accessibility is where you can do things if you're having a challenge seeing the screen, magnify it, hearing the output of what's going on the screen, the talk back, the power button ending the phone call. Those are simple things that are accessibility oriented. And then your overall general. You can use unread dots to flag what you've already read, auto launch media controls, and launch the watch tutorial. Suggest if you're not familiar with this and you don't go through the tutorial when it offers it to you as you're setting it up, that you go in here and then in general and do that. Personalization is where you really set things up. Your screen lock can be done there. Customize your buttons on what they'll do. Set up smart replies for texts and whatnot. Your different input methods. That includes the Google handwriting, Google keyboard, and you can add other keyboards to it if you want to as well. Your Google Assistant access and how you get into that. Your Mobvoi launcher is what I believe we're using right now. Overall device administration, and then it gets into heavy-duty stuff. There's where you can do a screenshot, and this off-wrist calibration, I guess, is so that you can make sure that it's working properly when you are wearing it. Your storage on the watch, remember it comes with, 8 gigabytes of storage for all kinds of things, and this shows you what is being used by the watch itself at any particular time. And finally, system. System is where you got the essential mode. Again, that's just the LCD screen only and shuts everything else down. Date and time, reset, power off, disconnect and reset if you're going to move it to a different phone. The overall about and regulatory information are in there. And that, folks, is a pretty fast but complete walkthrough of everything you need to know about the TicWatch Pro 3 GPS. Yep, I got them nice and wet, TPU rubberized bands that look like leather. We've got the dual layer display that's gotten much, much thinner. Speaker, microphone. In an upcoming video, we'll try to work through a lot of stuff, let you see and hear some more of the aspects of it. But as far as an unboxing first look, and kind of a deep look at the stock apps that come with it and on the settings and how the screens work, that's what we're looking at. And of course, you can get it with the link in the show notes, the TicWatch Pro 3 GPS with a discount, 10% off right now. All these different features in it. Really appreciate it if you head on over and click on our link and take advantage of this. If you like the watch, I like the watch. I think it's really great. It's a definite better iteration from the original. They're finally polishing it really nicely, very attractive. The thinness really, really helps sell it as a nice dress watch. All right, gang, you've been watching Smartwatch Ticks. Again, we're at smartwatchticks.com. I got playlists on all kinds of different watches, workshops, bands, you name it. We've been here for 6 years, so come take a look and enjoy it. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.